Good evening, Facebook family. Welcome to another episode of the Empowerment Platform, where our goal is to simply empower you to reach your goals wherever they may be. First, I would like to thank each and every one of you for joining us on Mother's Day, wherever you are. Shout out to all the wonderful mothers in the world. I must give a shout out to my wife, Catherine Shivers, the mother of my children. Excellent mother, loving, kind, caring. Don't know where I'd be without her. Shout out to my mom, Wanda Grace, always in my corner. Always have been supportive for everything that you do. Shout out to my stepmom, Linda Williams, treated me as if I were her own child. Just the love there, support, and to my grandmother, Josie Shivers. Uh, I grew up with her. She's the rock, the matriarch of the family, and I just know that with those women in my life, it has shaped me to be who I am. And tonight, family, I have with me Coach Ant. Coach Ant is an amazing, amazing individual, full of life. You guys will get to see his personality here in just a minute, and he's just going to really share with us some of the things that he does. He's a coach, like I am, and I know he has something good for us tonight. So, Coach Ant, say hello to the people.
Oh, hey, good people. Happy Mother's Day. Since you did your shout outs, I want to make sure to do my shout outs too.
Do it, do it.
Shout out to my mama who came here from the Philippines, made sure that my brother and myself had a better life. She made all of this possible, and we stand on the shoulder of giants. Shout out to all the strong females out there that have just been an absolute blessing. That have been, man, true foundation is true rocks. Just adding value constantly. Truly appreciate you. And shout out to all the mothers out there and all the future mothers. Thank you so much for man, just raising up the next generation. Appreciate y'all.
Absolutely. Now, Coach Ant, I want to start with this right here.
Yes,
Last week
sir.
on our EE coach call, you went in and you talked about why you do what you do. And I want you to share with the guests to share with them why you do what you do, what drives you, what moves you, what makes
Oh man.
Coach Ant.
Oh my gosh. I know it's 7 o'clock. I feel like y'all are about to get some of this coffee energy right now. But Tyrus, before we go into that, man, something that I like to do at the start of anything, any conversation, interaction, is I like to do gratitudes, right? So whenever I get into a call or I'm working with a client, I start with gratitudes. So I say something I'm grateful for, you say something you're grateful for, and we just go back and forth, doing a total of three each. Do you mind if we do that?
Oh, absolutely. Let's go.
Let's go. I'm grateful for my communities. It's something that's empowering. I find myself surrounded with loving people, supportive people, people I can add value to, and then just add value to me. So it's really beneficial to both.
Phenomenal. I am grateful for my family, my wife and my kids.
Let's
Definitely
go.
grateful for them.
Let's go. I love it. I love it. I'm grateful for the people who challenge me to be a better version of myself, who push me outside my comfort zone. It don't feel good. I promise you, it don't feel good, but it's necessary.
I'm grateful for God giving me the strength that even with a medical disability, I'm still able to go every day, get up each day, move. Push off. I'm just grateful for His grace.
Oh, I love it. I love it. Woo, man. Ooh, you got me with some goosebumps and chills over here. Man, I'm grateful that I have a great understanding of who I am, the gifts that I have, and just how to use them. That's something that's been a blessing in this past season. I know that will serve me for the rest of my life.
Absolutely, and I'm grateful for several coaches that I have and mentors, both in real estate and in the coaching business. I'm just grateful for my coaches. They push me, they stretch me, and they also deliver that impactful information that I need.
Let's go. I absolutely love it. Oof. Okay. Warm ups up the day. Let's get into the out the way. Let's get into the game, coach. Let's get into the game. So your question was the why,
Yeah.
right?
Yep.
So I wanna make sure because what I shared on the call that was something that happened in this past season. But if we want to go to the root of everything, man, I can. Which direction do you want to go? You're
Take,
driving the ship right now.
take me to the root.
The root. I love it. Man, so I had the opportunity to listen to a man named Jamal King, just phenomenal individual. He rocks with ETA. He got co-signed slash he gets mad love from ETA in the squad. And then he hopped onto one of the calls on Wednesday. And he talked about this thing called the 5 pillars, right? It's faith, it's family and friends, fitness, finances, and freedom. Right. So then those are the pillars. But then underneath that, I started to think about it. And I started to think about my why, like what keeps me going, keeps me driven. And it's the past, the present, and the future. The past, my parents who came here from the Philippines to live a better life. My past self, I have to honor my past self because man, he didn't give up. He went through trials, tribulations, and it seems so easy to give up, but he didn't. And man, I have to give credit and shout out to God for meeting me where I was and just meeting me where I wasn't, just blessing me, like accepting me as I am, for my present self, for being here, for constantly investing in my current self. Um, Man, the people around me, my communities, my loved ones, and my future self, and not just the future self, but my future wife, right? Like the
Mhm.
future, man, it's Mother's Day, y'all. Future mother of my children, and not just that, but my children's children, right? My children's children, because we're talking legacy at this point. So it's like when I keep the big perspective in, it's like I come from somewhere, I am somewhere, I have a chance to invest towards the person I want to be and invest into the future people. Like, man, there's something special about keeping that entire picture in mind.
Oh, beautiful, beautiful. So right now, you told us your why and your growth, and you are preparing for that generational wealth, that generational legacy. And not many people think about that. A lot of people living for the here and now, but you're actually talking
Mhm,
about the future wife, the future children, and the children's
mhm.
children. Why is that? Is that something that you were raised and something that's kind of ingrained in you? What makes you think about that? What makes you want to invest in the generations to come?
Oh man, that's a phenomenal question. Mm. I definitely wasn't raised with that mentality. The mentality was always go to school, get a good job, have a family, and all that was good, right? Because man, that's what I was taught by my parents because that's what they knew, and that's something I appreciate and something that I embrace. But then once I started to hear people like ET, and I started to hear people like um, man Jamal King, and I started to hear people of just influence that have businesses and they have multiple homes, and man, I see the way they're raising their families, and they start to talk about this thing called like generational wealth and just passing something on. That's something that it's like it kind of sticks with you. Like originally, it didn't make too much sense because it's the here and now. Like everybody, we're in the here and now, and it's not perfect, it's not easy. Like we're all going through something in one form or another. But it's there's something about keeping your eyes upon the future. Like myself, like I'm a high IS. Like Tyrus, I'm not too sure. We didn't talk about our discs earlier, and we didn't talk about our personalities or anything. But something that I realize is if I put people in my future and I put people at the forefront, kind of like the why, at that point it's like I get this extra energy inside of me. And once I have this extra energy, it's like, okay, let me put in perspective. I don't mind taking care of this task.
Mhm.
I don't mind doing this. I don't mind doing that because I understand that's something necessary I have to do in this moment in order to I can't give what I don't have. So let me go ahead and get it so I can pass it on.
Gotcha, gotcha. Beautiful. Now, were you on the call this morning? I was not, but I didn't see your diagram. Did you put the diagram up?
Oh man, I love it. I love it. I was on the call this morning, but I wasn't on the full call this morning. Right. So man, it's story time. Tyrus, it's story time. Let me share something with you. So one of my goals for 2025 is to have $1 million morning and nighttime routine. And part of the morning routine is to meditate in the morning. It's to think of things that I'm grateful for 3 minutes, followed by things that I just allow love and grace and acceptance into my life. Just imagining that and just receiving that, just bringing that in. And the third part is just what do I want to step into victory to, right? Kind of in this meditative process. All this happens within the first 10 minutes of waking up, right? So it's when I woke up this morning, it was ready, I believe 6:15. So the calls, no, it's 5:15, excuse me. So the call starts from 5 o'clock until 6 o'clock PST, and then for Eastern time, that's gonna be the 8 a.m. ministry to the 9 a.m. ministry. It's a little bit earlier over here in California. So I was beating myself up a little bit because it was already 5:15. We're already in the call. I'm like, okay, let me find this message. Let me find this how to get onto there. Let me hop on there, start taking notes and everything. At which point I started to think like, they're about to drop some great information, but what I have right now in terms of the progress that I've made so far in terms of my $1 million morning routine, like I value this. Like this is something that I put into play and something I can attribute a lot of my success to. So let me ask you this because we're part of the same community and I just want to make it clear, right? How much would you value a call? And these are some deep individuals, right? These are deep in like ET,
Yeah.
Kendall, Moose, just gurus in their fields, like people that have like retired their wives or people who are in the midst of retiring their wives so they don't have to work anymore, like people that have blessed so many people. What would you value that information and that ability to ask questions at and them just speaking to you? What would you value that
Oh man, it's a priceless thing. When we talk about putting money out, it's worth every penny. It's something that it keeps on giving. And with the community, they
Let's
give
go.
so much. It's like,
Let's go.
okay, if I pay 10 grand for just a year of time, the information that they giving every single week, and we hearing from them multiple times a week. It's just priceless.
Mhm.
The information takes you so far, and it puts you in a path and in a group with people who are, like you said, they're looking and they're moving forward. General
Mm.
thoughts. We're not talking about people that saying go get a job or go do this. It's fine, but we're in the
I
midst
love it.
of people who are trying to live and leave a legacy.
I love it.
What would that dash mean on our gravestones from the birth to the death? That dash in between, what is our life about? And this
I
is
love it.
that Jamal,
Mm.
CJ, all of them just talk about what are we doing? What is our life?
Mm.
And for E to be going after that Nobel Peace Prize, I'm on the ride with them, trying to let's get there. And that's what it is.
Man, that is phenomenal, right? And I'm right there with you every step of the way. I want to see ET win that Nobel Peace Prize and just be able to celebrate him when he does, and to be able to not to be able to pass on that generational information, generational teachings onto the next generation, right? So, man, let's just put a number on it. It's a little bit of a challenge, a little bit of a stretch, but would you say 10 grand? Would you say 10 grand per call? Is that I know you said priceless, but let's put a number on it.
If I had to put a number on per call, what I would
Let's
pay
go.
per call, man, I would probably pay now. And if I had it per call, that's an hour, I probably pay 20 grand a call. If I had it, I would pay 20 grand a call. People, people auction off time and they're paying like 400,000 or 500,000 to sit down with them. I feel like if I could sit down with E, if I could sit down with Jamal, man, it's worth it. It's worth it. When I was in Michigan in February, I had talked to
Let's
Jamal
go.
a bit, and he
I
just took my
love it.
perspective in 10 minutes, changed my whole perspective. And I'm like, man, if we can be with these guys so much the way we are, it's just something to feed. It's we growing.
I love it. I love it, man. That's something that's phenomenal. So let me put things into perspective, right? Because it's valuable. There's no doubt about it. It's valuable. 20K per call, right? So let me go ahead and take the same evaluation. I'll put the same evaluation, 20K per call, because these are some of the most influential individuals, people that are vetted, have gotten results, and they're willing to share, and they care about the people, right? But my 2025 goal is to have a $1 million morning and nighttime routine,
Mhm.
right? So when I had woke up this morning, I had woken up like, you know, I need to do this. I need to do this. I need to create a mind map. I need to go share with other people, right? But once I started to kick in, and it's like, yo, success is in your routine. Like, are you going to throw away your entire routine for the morning? It's like I still got to the spot. I promise you that. I still was there during the Q&A. I was able to listen to it through and hear that value. But I would attribute a lot of my progress, even during these past 2 months of shelter in place, towards this meditation, towards being intentional and investing in myself in this meditation fashion, towards exercising in the morning, towards visualization, towards cold showers, all part of the morning routine, right? So yes, I did get to the spot, but there are certain investments I need to make to show up to the spot. It's like on this, I'm not gonna come in with like my hair all nappy and my hair all messed up and like a raggedy shirt or something like that, something that nature. It's like, no, there's a preparation process you go through to be confident once you step in. The same thing as you. Like my friend, I see you wearing that button shirt, looking fresh, looking clean, looking very educated with your whiteboard in the background, right? You got your microphone, like man, if you just woke up and it's like, yo, let me just do this real quick where I lower the quality of my day by just doing everything on my phone. Like it's the exact same concept. Like this right here, like this could be your $1 million podcast, right? And you have a routine to be associated with it. And it's for me, it's the same thing. Like let me get my $1 million morning routine in. At which point, once I get this routine, I'm ready. Like let's take in information. Let's take in the love that people have to share with me. Let's filter through all the things the world's trying to send my way. But let me get prepared first.
Oh, beautiful. That is amazing. So, and I'm gonna take a page out of your book. Make sure that I hear that you say
Love it. Let's go.
putting that value on your routine to set you up to be able to receive that information when it's ready. Oh, beautiful. Not
Man, is that what it sounds like when I say that to people? Man, I like it, man. I like it.
like, let me make sure I understand correctly. And I love that. I love the way you do that because not only does it show that you listen, you're able to repeat that information. So you processed it, and then now you're asking for clarification. Make sure everybody's on the same page. I love when you do that. I know everybody makes a joke out of it, but it shows that you're invested in the information. You're invested
Absolutely.
in the time. You're not just
Absolutely.
granted. Nothing. When you ask a question, you let me know that the question you're asking, you have already thought about it in some manner and you prepared. And it's just beautiful the way you ask again, clarify, and then boom, now you're clear. There's no guesswork with you.
Absolutely. I just wanted to share where I got that from. And this actually started at the start of Shelter in Place. I was reading through a book just based on the disc itself, and it was talking about communication and how communication is key. This is something we do all the time. The message we're sending to people, the body language we're sending to people, what we're receiving in, what we think people are saying. And in this specific example, like it was something that was ridiculous because a man and a wife, like the wife walks into the room and the wife says, like, oh, it's a nice day today. There's a little bit of a tone to it. At which point he puts this exercise into place. And then he said, are you saying that today's a nice day? And she's like, well, maybe it'd be nice if we could go outside. And then he asked the question, are you saying that you would like to go outside? At which point it gets even deeper, like, well, I would like to go outside, but can we spend more time together? And then it's like goes into, are you saying that we don't spend enough time together and that you want to spend more time together? And there's like so many levels to it. And just asking this question, are you saying that, or phrasing like, if I could repeat back what you said, like something of that nature, it's just going to debunk a lot of the miscommunication that's going on. Make sure we have effective communication, man, and let's have healthy relationships and healthy business transactions as a result.
Right, right. And let's take that, and I want to pivot into your coaching. Tell us a little bit about who you coach. How did you get to that specific area of coaching? And then do you use the same clarifying questions in that process in your coaching?
I love it. Let's break that down because you asked me a few questions. Who I coach,
Yep.
and then you asked how do I coach them?
Yeah.
Do I use the same concepts?
Right. Do you use the same concepts, asking clarifying questions?
Mm-hmm. And
And
then
why
how
did
did I get into coaching? How did I choose that niche?
yes. Oh,
Okay, good.
Ernie. Ernie asked, "What's the name of the book?"
Absolutely. Let me, Uncle E, let me get back to you on that because I have to go into my mini library inside of my room, but I'll be sure to pull that out. And I can actually send you the excerpt too, because the excerpt itself is, man, that thing has helped me in a lot of communication transactions, right? So I'll be sure to send you that. Um, but yeah, I love it. Let's get into the questions. Who I coach, man. Right now, my niche are millennials that are kind of bouncing back and forth from job to job, that are just looking for a sense of direction. Something that happens after graduation is that, shoot, a lot of the structure is gone. Like after graduation from high school or college or whatever it may be, man, there's a lot of structure involved. Like, go to this class, you're in pursuit of this degree, be here at this time, you're part of this club. Like after graduation, like the clubs disappear. When I say clubs, I'm not talking about the dance clubs. I'm talking about like social clubs, or like um, empowerment for the community clubs, right? Those things start to disappear. Like the structure people give you disappear. And yo, it's a little bit rough, right? So it's like, even my personal story, that's what happened. I was on top of the world upon graduation back in 2017. I thought, like, man, I got my degree, my life is set, like everything is gonna fall into place. But that was one of the roughest times after, because being on top of the world, it felt like I fell down a little bit. It felt like the structure that I had, it just got shaken and it fell down. And it was rough, right? So what I want to do is help people in that situation and provide a little bit of clarity to millennials as well as the younger individuals, to make it as clear as night and day, right? I want to, man, I love this. I came up with this example today. I shared it to my accountability partner, Ashley Hill, right? Shout out to her. But I want to make it clear, right? Let's say, for example, Tyrus, that it's 80 degrees outside. It's 80 degrees outside, at which point you're lounging outside, and man, it's just a beautiful day. It's like you have an umbrella, so you have some shade over there, like your family's around you, they're running around. It's all good in the hood, right? Now you have two drinks in front of you. The very first drink is some ice cold lemonade.
Mm.
All right, let me say it again. I like the way that sounds. Ice cold lemonade with a umbrella just on the top, just for the aesthetics. You can see
Yep.
the ice, you see the cup just sweating a little bit, right? And it's looking good. Now on the other side, like, man, you got milk. You got milk that's been sitting there for about 15 minutes. So it's kind of like past that chill time, and now it's kind of like, okay, this might be starting to curdle a little bit. I might have to double think this milk right now. You have a choice. Now you have a choice between the lemonade and you have a choice between the milk, right? Between those two, which one would you reach for?
I got to reach for the lemonade.
Absolutely. And anybody in their right mind would be reaching for the lemonade, right? They don't want the milk that might be spoiled, the milk that might hurt their stomach, because the lemonade is going to be refreshing. The lemonade is going to be tasty. The
Mhm.
lemonade is going to quench you in that moment, right? That milk might give you a stomach ache. That milk might be bad. That milk, it's not going to taste too good. Like, this is what I do. Like, I want to make things as clear as night and day for people, right? Let's go ahead and put the situation at hand. Like, what are you currently facing right now? What are your options? You can either go to A or you can go to B. And once we see A and B, what are the results that you will get from A and B? Like, if you choose A, what will happen? If you choose B, what will happen? And something, and this is just a nugget that I want to share with everybody. Man, life is a little bit repetitive sometimes, because if
Yep.
there's something that we don't address, or a situation where we don't take the proper action, and then we just, more likely than not, we're going to keep making the same decisions into those situations and keep getting the same results, right? And a lot of the time, people just, they're not aware of it, or maybe they can't identify it, or maybe they don't know they have another choice.
Hmm.
Maybe they just have a lack of information about what they're supposed to do, right? So let's put this all on a mind map, right? Once we can see the situation at hand, let's put down the options you have, the results that you're going to get, and let's tie it all back in with what do you want to achieve and what's your why, right? Like, what is driving you? I think once we get all those pieces put together and it's as clear as night and day on a mind map or a piece of paper, whatever it may be, like it's as easy as lemonade versus milk, right?
And I agree with you on that. A lot of people just don't, they're stuck in the routine. They're stuck in the
Yep.
habit. And it's just doing it. I know Quest on one of the marriage calls, he was
Hmm.
talking about, a lot of times with our spouses or our significant others, we get into a routine and we're redoing a story that happened in the past. So if you had a
Mm,
previous relationship that didn't go quite right, well, you're in a new relationship, but you're still living out stuff in the old relationship because you're just playing the same story, playing the
mm,
story. And I think that a lot of people just don't realize that things have changed and I'm not in the same story. So let me play a different one and get a different outcome. It's almost like
mm.
doing the same things over and over and over, thinking they're going to get a different result, but you're doing the same exact thing. I'm reading a book about habits, and it talks
Yes,
about
sir.
keystone habits. And a lot of people try to change their whole life. I'm gonna change this. I'm gonna change. I'm gonna stop drinking. I'm gonna stop smoking. I'm gonna start exercising. I'm gonna eat right. And then they often don't do any of it because they're trying to make all these changes at once.
Mm,
And the book talks about a keystone habit. So that is that habit where, for me, say, I know that I want more energy. I want to live a healthier lifestyle and I want to be stronger and fit. So I've found that my keystone habit is exercise. If I
mm,
put a habit of exercising, it's going to give me more energy. It's going to help me make better decisions. It's going to make me sharper in mind. And that's my keystone habit. So I don't have to try to change all the other stuff. I can
mm.
do that one keystone habit. And like Eden, they've been talking about habit stacking. I got
Yep.
confirmation right there. When I started thinking about it, I was like, I think the Lord talking to me.
See, Tyrus, I love what you're saying. I read the same book too. The Power of Habit was an absolute phenomenal book, right? So I've read that book, and Keystone Habits Exercise, one of the ones that he has spoken about, and I think it's phenomenal that you're getting the results. But I wanna backtrack a little bit because you have to make a decision, right? First and foremost, to
Right.
change the habit, right? So you have to give something up in order to get this energy, in order to get this mental clarity, in order to get this routine in place, right? That's the result, the energy, right? You get the mental clarity. That's all the results, right? And the way that you did it was you went through the vehicle of exercise, right? You chose exercise. Talk about the stuff, the choices that you no longer make, or the choices you're stepping away from, and what you have to give up, right? Because there are some things you have to give up.
So in my working towards exercising more, I'm not there all the way. I'm working towards it. One
Let's
thing
go.
that I know that I'm gonna have to give up, and I love the way you put it every Sunday, that sleep ministry.
Yeah. It's an important ministry.
If I could just lay in the bed and get a couple of more hours. But that's one
Mm,
thing that I know that I'm gonna have to change and give up is that sleep ministry. I got to get
mm,
earlier. I got to get into just like what you were talking about. You call it your $1 million morning and evening routine. I got
let's
to get
go.
that morning routine going, and exercise is a part of that. Meditation is a part of that. Listening to
Yeah.
something motivational is a part of that. So
Yeah.
I understand that sleep ministry, which I love. Praise him for the sleep. I gotta give that. Another thing I know that I have to give up is that TV ministry.
Let's go.
Sitting around, watching the TV, catching up on the shows. I gotta give up that a little bit as well. I can't do it. No binge watching, no Netflix and chill all night. So I gotta give up that TV ministry. I just gotta give up and change my mindset. I told my wife, yes, I think it was either last night. Yeah, I told her last night, I want to make X amount of money a year so we can move wherever we want to
Mm,
and be free. And that's
mm,
what I make. And I said, I think, yeah, last night I said, I got to get on the grind.
let's go.
So now I got to give
Man, I
up
love it.
those pleasure things that I was thinking about, that chill. I got to give up that
Yeah,
chill and that relaxation because I got to grind because now I have a goal. I want to hit that
I
number.
love it.
I'm trying to get out the sun in California.
I love it. I love it. So are you saying that in order to get to the place that you want to go, you have to pay the price of the chilling, the relaxation, the comfort that comes with the sleep, the TV, as well as the way that you're operating, and you're willing to pay that price in order to become the person that you need to be. And you're going to do that through exercise in order to be more mentally clear. You're going to have that increased energy, increased drive, increased focus. You're going to have all these things, right? Right? Because you get something, but I want to make it very clear that you have to pay a certain price in order to get that thing, right?
Absolutely.
Because we're not going to get something for nothing out here, right? It's not going to cost money in terms of your growth and your change, but it is going to cost some sacrifice. It's going to cost your effort. It's going to cost you being aware, right? It's going to cost you changing your habits. And man, people, let's be honest, people say that they want certain things, but are you willing to pay the price for it? And
Exactly.
once you're able to pay the price and you do pay the price, let's go. Everything else is it's a habit, and you're going to continue to get results right there.
Absolutely. Like he said, everybody want to be a beast till it's time to do what beasts do.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. Man, let me share this with you, Tyrus. And this is something I was really happy to hear and something I put into practice. But a few weeks ago, I was able to host a Breathe University mastermind call with Q&A from different spheres or kind of different areas. So there was a fitness, like some fitness gurus. There was some brain gurus. There was some bag gurus, so the finances, as well as bond gurus, like people that are just like phenomenal with like relationships, wife, business relationships, children relationships, all these different things. So myself and a few other coaches, shout out to Fatai, shout out to Tiff, shout out to Dom, shout out to Ash. Like, man, we put something together where we got two masterminds for each group, and then we asked them to just join in. Can you do some Q&A for some people? At which point we just put it out to all the Breathe University community, like our mastermind group, and then we got a good turnout, right? So then I was in charge of the brain room, and inside of the brain room, Moose, as well as Eli. Eli's this dope firefighter in the community. Just is extremely effective individual in terms of results. But Moose said something that just resonated so much with me, right? Because now we're going into the subconscious mind, and he broke it down. Because once a person makes it so easy that it's just like this progress is just, man, I don't want to use the term cake, but it's like let's a kale chip or something, or like something healthy that's like I want to sound healthy, I want to sound good, I don't want to put like cake for the taking, like nah, people are on that diet boy or whatever, I don't want to say that, but it's easy progress, right? Let's call it easy progress. He said, if you want to change the way that you're operating, you want to change the way that you're thinking, and you want to change kind of like the subconscious mind, right? There's some key times during the day. And Tyrus, what he said was, the very first hour after you wake up, you have to sucker punch your subconscious mind with new information, new belief systems,
Yep.
New belief systems, right? Just having all these new perspectives, like your affirmation pieces, your mirror talk, loving yourself, forgiving yourself, all these different things. Like, let's go. I've been listening to quote of the day. Like, that's been an absolute blessing. Praying in the morning, that's been an absolute blessing. Exercising in the morning to have those higher level thoughts, first hour of the day, right? You're going to sucker punch your mind, and you're going to start to rewire your programming.
Yep.
So that now you're like, you actually have that belief system. Like, oh yeah, I can be fit. Like, oh yeah, I am successful. I am a businessman. I am a successful entrepreneur. I am systematic with my systems, with my calendar, and the way that I operate. I am a problem solver. Any problem in front of me, I can solve. I am loved. I am blessed. I am highly favored. Right? Once you start to, ooh, man, I'm feeling now. Right? Right? Because I'm just building on top of what's already been built. Like, right. All I'm doing is bringing to the forefront something that has been practiced for like months now. Right. So let's go ahead and sucker punch that subconscious mind. He said, first hour in the morning, as well as 1 hour before going to sleep, make sure to put that iPad away, put down that news and all those YouTube videos. He said, don't fall asleep, go to sleep, right? Do not fall asleep, go to sleep. And that's something that's been game changing. You know, the morning routine, that's set. I'm working on the nighttime routine. about 50 to 75% there. I'm gonna challenge myself. I'm 50% there, right? Because I'm getting half of the nights.
Yeah.
I want the other half. That's the other half of the $1 million morning and nighttime routine.
Oh, excellent. Phenomenal. That's beautiful. That's beautiful. Moose always drops some good information. Now, take me to somewhere, and this is don't really have anything to do with what we're talking about, but I have to know because I've seen it before and I've heard about it before. Talk to us about that cold shower ministry. I've heard
Absolutely.
helps with inflammation, can make if you do it in the morning, can wake you up. Uh,
Yep.
for how long should I be with cold shower ministry? And can I start off with a hot shower and go cold, or do I just got to
Oh,
go
I love it.
away? Talk to
I
us.
love it. Yeah, let's go into the cold shower ministry, and I'm gonna reverse it, right? So absolutely, you can start with a hot shower and then switch to the cold shower, and that's something that's sweet because in the 75 hard program, something that's just like I'm very inspired by and
Mhm.
something that I've seen people put into practice. Part of phase one is a 5 minute cold shower. Right. So I've seen these individuals just like standing underneath like a faucet with like cold shower, right? It's like cold water just like over them. And it's like I've seen them doing it in snow sometimes, which is absolutely crazy.
Yep, yep.
Let me ramp up. Like, yo, y'all are super deep. I'm not on that level yet, but let me work my way up to get there. Right. So what that can you hear me?
Yeah, you good. You good.
Okay, perfect. Let me work my way up. So when I started to do this, I have a routine. So I do my hair, at which point I scrub up everywhere, at which point I wash the face, right? So it started as let me go ahead and do the hair, scrub up, cold shower, ding. Oh man, I don't like this. I don't like this. And then like let me get the face, right? And then it's starting to progress forward and something I'm happy to say it's moving forward where it's like, all right, let me get the hair, at which point again there's a battle every time right before I do the cold shower. I have to count down like 5, 4, 3, and then I turn on the cold shower. It's just still like, oh man, like, oh man, it's cold, but it's going from like we're talking about increase in time at this point,
Mhm.
right? This is an increase in time. And man, I remember before I'd be hooting and hollering, kind of like yelling as soon as it happens, like, let's go. Where my dogs at? Ho, where my dogs at? Ho, where my dogs at? Ho, because man, it's something else. Like once you get under that cold shower, it wakes you up. It's better than coffee because there's no down that comes
Yeah.
after that. It's like you feel clean. It's like your skin is different too. It's crazy. Like your skin is different. You look healthier. You're alive. At which point, man, it's been progressing forward. I feel great after, so I make sure to I'd shout out to my life group, my Thursday life group. I love these people. I'd send them motivational videos sometimes. It's like, yo, I got this dope energy. I got this overflow energy inside of me. Let me go ahead and bless, right? Like, I don't want to just take this overflow and then just go eat breakfast and focus all this good energy to my breakfast. Like, oh, I'm so grateful for you, avocado. I'm so grateful for you, egg. Like, let me go bless. Let me go record something and send out a video to these people that I care about. Because, man, it's sweet when you can invest in people, man. It's sweet.
Absolutely. I'm gonna have to pray real hard about, about that because I'm gonna need all his strength to get through that. I did it like 1 or 2 times, and I was like, "Oh, I got to get back into it." I'm start with the hot and then go to the cold. And like you said, I think the key is work the time up and not try to go in gung ho and be like, I'm gonna stand here for
Yeah.
5 minutes. No, maybe 30 seconds, and then I do 30 seconds,
30 seconds. That's it.
and then jump it up to a minute and go that way,
Yep.
build it incrementally. So I
Yep. Exactly.
information because I did hear about the benefits of doing a cold shower, and it's something that I do want to try.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
You sent me your kind of your intro, your bio.
I love it. Go for it. Go for
Talk to me about these birthday parties. I want to hear about these birthday parties for family
it.
friends.
Man, that's something that's phenomenal. Man, thank you so much for asking, man. I'm just blessed with people that I really care about in life. And man, something that I just really enjoy doing is just, man, celebrating people. Like, I don't know what it is, but I'm the guy that's going to affirm. I'm the person that's going to like show love and kind of highlight things that are going in people's lives. Like, I don't care if I get anything from it. I don't care if I get anything for it. I will invest because I care about people, right? No, the return on investment is like the happiness, right? So, man, I threw a couple. And something I love about this is, man, one of the best things I ever did in my life was one of my very close friends, Raymond. He was going through a season of life where, man, things weren't going too hot and he was feeling kind of down. At which point in my brain, I'm like, shoot, how can I cheer this guy up? And being the affirming person that I am, I'm like, let me record a video for him. But it's not just a video. Let me reach out to his closest people in his life, right? In his life, people I've not heard about before ever. Like, I didn't know they exist. I never contacted them before in my life, right? But I reached out. I reached out to one of his very close friends and somebody just near and dear, like his sister. She was like, this is a blessing too, the blessing of just the network. But let me connect you to those people and like just share that message with them, right? I shared that message with them. They sent me videos. They sent me like these words and these pictures and everything, and everything was just compiled up. At which point, I just dropped this to him. I think it was like a Thursday. It's not his birthday. It's not Christmas. It's not a celebration. Any form of celebration. Let's just drop this in his life, right? Let's just go love on somebody right now. So I dropped that in his life. At which point, his sister is like, she was in the next room at the time. She like walks in, kind of like, yo, what's going on, type of thing. I'm messengering on Messenger, and he's just like, yo, what is this? Like, what? How do they know each other? Like, what? Like this entire thing, right? She's giving me the play-by-play happening. I'm like, yo, there's something special about this of just having the closest people in your life in the same space at the same time, multiplied by the fact that it's not your birthday, it's not Christmas, just because.
Just because.
So this during this time, man, I love it. Oof, man, I got all this good energy right now. During this season, I threw one of my very close friends, John. I threw him just because surprise birthday, man. I'm kind of sneaky with that. I asked him like, who are your inner circle friends and like who are your folks and everything. At which point he told me, and it's like I let that sit, but it's like I took action on it. So it's like everything is via Zoom, which is sweet because he has friends in Chicago. So his friends in Chicago, I made sure to reach out to them. Like his friends from work, I made sure to reach out to them. Some people that are out of the country, I made sure to reach out to them. And like, yo,
Beautiful.
I told him hop in with a fake name and a fake picture, and like there's all these like fake names and fake pictures. At which point it's like, dude, we have a surprise for you, right? At which point it's like everyone started to show their name, everyone started to change the name, show their picture, all that stuff. And it was priceless because it's like he didn't understand how to like take in the information. Like, why are all these people here? Like, what is going on? But it's like you know that the person's being like filled with happiness. You know the person's being filled with joy. It's like something's happening inside of them. Woo, man, it's special. You know, I did that for him, and I did that for my very close friend Raymond, and man, it's an absolute blessing. It's an absolute blessing.
Phenomenal. Now you mentioned the disc. You mentioned you were an I and an S.
Yes, sir.
And I know for a fact the I comes out.
You witnessing it right now.
I can hear the S too. And the way you speak, the way you talk, the support, you just everything is there. When did you become aware of the disc? When did you take your assessment, and how has it impacted your life? How has it changed? How is it helping you today?
Man, I love that question. You asking about all the good things over here, Tyrus. I swear, you're making people look good out here. Just send me the invoice. Send me the invoice, right? I appreciate you. Man, I became aware of the disc. What was it? 2 years ago. 2 years ago, I heard ET talking about it on the call, and at that time, I went to a conference, and Chris Daniels was still there. Rest in peace, just an absolute entrepreneur in reference to the disc, introduced it to ET and the fam. So thank you so much for what he had done. But man, when he went over the information, it started to make sense. So I knew I needed to take it. So I reached out to Kendall, and then Kendall, we had a 15-minute conversation. 15-minute conversation turned into a 1-hour consultation. At which point he told me, yo, at the time it was called the Flamingo, you are a super flamingo, right? Like energy is your gift. like energy, and people don't even think about it. Like people, no one's gonna touch you with that 99 eye. And man, like at that point, it was something that was so alleviating, like something that brought so much peace, because I grew up in a household full of S's and C's and not that much. It's like S's and C's, kind of a little
Yeah.
more introverted, a little bit more structured and whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
And man, it hurts sometimes when it's like being the talkative natural self that I was, being put in like a, yo, you need to be more introverted. You need to be a little bit more systematic. Like stop speaking so loudly, stop being so energetic. Right? I didn't understand it, but it's like, yo, you're a super flamingo, and like you are a super flamingo. Embrace it. That's like, yo, I have permission to be myself. I understand who myself is now. Let me take this information and run with it. It's like, okay, let me go inspire somebody. Let me go be optimistic. Energy. Whew, let me go give someone some energy right now. Right. And that was the very start. I think the biggest W, right? The biggest W is learning how to activate my decisiveness, my driving, my ooh, I love this. I'm working on a little bit of low key shout out to Raymore. I'm working on a project right now, and it's just to help reprogram the subconscious mind. And something when working on a project, there's a lot of unknowns in front of you, but with those unknowns also comes an opportunity. It's like, let me be decisive, let me be driving and step forth, let me cast some vision and let us press forth, right? To create a plan and to just press forth. Right. So we're working on a project right now and we're creating something out of nothing. We want to reprogram the subconscious mind, like a little bit of a teaser drop, right? But working on a project right now to reprogram the subconscious mind where we're going to have people record their affirmations, like what are the things that you want to become. So for myself, I want to be more driving towards problem. I want to be a problem solver. I want to identify them and solve them. I want to be more systematic when it comes to my processes, when it comes to my business, when it comes to my calendar. Right. I want to understand that I am an entrepreneur. I want to understand I'm an effective businessman. Right. So these different affirmations all put into place. Now let's record it all, put it on a loop. Let's put it on a background track with some like nice ocean sounds and some nice like calming music. And let's talk about habit stacking. Let's put that at the start of the day. Let's put that at the end of the day, right? Let's let that sink in. Let's give that brain some food. It's like these belief systems, right? And that's something that we're driving forward. And if without the disc, I don't think I'd be able to drive this project forward and to collaborate and say like, yo, I have an idea. Let's work on this. Right. So this disc, ooh, it's a tool, but it's one of the most powerful tools I've ever experienced and witnessed in my life.
Oh, that's phenomenal. That is phenomenal. And I'm right there with you. I took the disc probably the first time I took it was 5 or 6 years ago when I first became
Let's
a real
go.
estate agent. And my team lead at the time, he was like, everybody that works with me, they got to take a disc. So I took it. We went over it. I didn't really pay any attention at that time. And then about in October, November, I took it again. We hooked up with E at the time. And since then, I've taken it another time, and I'm a high D, high I, 99D, 99I. It started to, for me, bring just clarity, how you behave, how you approach things, how you deal with things, and it put words to it. And what I like to do is tell people, there's a reason why you do certain things, and let's put some words to it. Let's stop. I don't know why so and so act the way they act. Well, they have a reason to. So let's think about it, and then let's try to meet them where they are. So my thing now is just providing conducive environments for everybody to be
I
themselves.
love it. I
Just
love it.
and
I love it.
go ahead, because I was thinking about what you said about how they were trying to make you fit into that structure,
Yep.
but that's not
Yep.
you, and
That's not me.
it robs you of who you are because now you're giving energy, you're being inspired, you're being optimistic. And had you not found the disc and embraced be empowered to be yourself, there that wouldn't be touched by you, and they're still in the situation waiting on you to embrace yours to come get them out of there.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And that's something that I truly appreciate, right, just kind of like repeating that back and just making sure that I'm heard. I want to throw the question back at you and of a similar fashion because, man, 5 years is a phenomenal time of just having this information, having this tool in your life to help you to make progress, right? What would you say are some of the highlights or some of the milestones throughout this 5 year journey of using this specific tool, understanding yourself through your EQ and learning how to operate from there?
Oh, one is I'm definitely with my family, with my wife, understanding that I'm a DI, she's a CS.
Mm,
With information, slow it down, be patient. And I still struggle. It's a work in progress, but my wins are now I understand that she needs that information from me. She can't just take that, oh, I said it was right, so it's right. No, I gotta give
mm,
information. I gotta give some proof. And it's not because, and this was I was taking it personally. You don't trust me, you don't believe me, but no,
mm,
it's her behavioral tendency
mm,
to want more information to make sure it's right. So all the time where I'm thinking you're not supporting me, she was actually supporting me, making sure it's right for me, making sure that it's safe for us. I'm taking it the wrong way. So that was one major win. And then having my son take it and look at, he's very supportive, very kind. And
mm,
language that I use is that D language.
yeah,
Now I'm
that's
talking
rough right there.
with
That's rough.
using the D language
Ooh,
with my son who's a high S. So now I understand, okay, I got to change that language. So it's just growth. Every day is growth. And now I'm looking at people through that lens. That's another win
let's go.
for me. Everybody I come in contact with now, I try to pick up on their behavior tendencies to see, okay, what do they prefer? What language do they prefer? And like you said, just communication skills. Now I'm trying
Mm,
to talk to people the way they want to be spoken to, not the way I want to talk to them. And that's a big thing for me now. Is now I'm understanding that it's not personal for people. I'm just not reaching them because I think they're me. Or I'm
I
trying to
love it.
like they're me, but they're not me.
Love it. That's man. If I could just repeat back what you said, because I love hearing these W's. Are you saying that because now you have the tool, you're able to reach out to people more effectively, and more specifically with your wife, you're able to understand that she needs a little bit more details. She moves at a slower pace with information. She needs something different from yourself, right? Somebody of your nature who's a little bit more fast paced, who's big picture, who's driving situation. There's going to be a natural clash that's going to happen there, like the fast pace as well as the slower pace, right? And there's nothing wrong with the person needing a faster pace, preferring a faster pace, or a person preferring the slower pace. But now that you're aware of it, like you're able to communicate effectively. You're adapting or you're shifting, doing a crossover for what she needs, so you're going above the 50%, right? You're going into you're reaching out and meeting, speaking her language. And man, how's the communication been? Like, talk about like the communication, as well as if you could speak about like the amounts of any arguing or kind of confrontation or conflict. Like, how has that been effective and affected ever since?
Oh, the communication's just getting much, much better now because now I can, and sometimes we have to just take a moment and let it breathe, like Coach K say.
Yeah.
Say something, let it breathe, let me process it before I respond because initially my response would be very quick and defensive. And now I kind of, even if I respond quickly, then I sit in it a little bit in my mind and let it breathe. And then I
Yeah.
come back and say, okay, I do understand now her perspective. Uh,
Yeah.
and it's not my way and it doesn't have to be. And
Yeah.
so that has lessened the arguments phenomenal. Just I would say now we can talk. We can talk now without it being me feeling a type of way and saying something that's not right. And now it's just a beautiful thing to be able to sit down and what we do now, we have these what we call state of the unions. So we go
Yep.
on married on couple night. Hey, where are we with the state of the union? How's the conversation? How is it going? You know, and here's what I'm thinking am I right in thinking that? And now I
Mm,
want to make sure that, like you said, with the communication, asking those questions before making a judgment. Is this what you mean? Did you really say this? Did I understand you when you said this?
mm,
And now I am starting to also, because being the high D,
let's
I
go.
like to make a decision and then go with it. Now I
Yeah.
actually take time to ask, hey, I was thinking about doing this or saying this or making this decision. What do you think? Because I need that balance. I recognize that I do need that balance, that
Yeah.
E and that S is an intricate part of keeping
Yeah.
D and the I balanced. Because without it, we're
Mm.
gone. I'll be making decisions. I ain't think about it. I looked at the big picture. I didn't give all the information, and now I'm in trouble.
Praise God. That is phenomenal. And what you're describing right now in terms of in the context of marriage, healthy communication in the context of marriage, man, I heard ET speak about that before of the whole idea that it's like this is what he said I started all the fights, right? And then he needed to dig deep and he took the disc, at which point once he learned the disc and he learned his wife Vivi's disc, man, he said they haven't fought in so long, right? And it's like in terms of that contact, like, yo, that's something I want. Like that's part of the drive. It's like I'm when I enter into that union, I'm not gonna enter with the idea that it's like we're gonna fight all the time. I'm gonna enter in with the idea that's like I want something healthy. I
Right.
want something with great communication. I want something of that nature. And man, I just want to celebrate you for just having that, right? That's something that's phenomenal to have that increased communication, less confrontation, and increased progress as a union. That's something that's phenomenal, Tyra. So I celebrate you.
I
Right?
appreciate
I celebrate you.
and it's just growth. It's every day thinking about how I have been in the past and how I can change in the future to make all of us better. Oh, it looks like I lost Coach Ant for a second. See if he pops back in. I'll join him back in. But family, we definitely appreciate you for listening in to us. We're keeping this thing rolling. We're talking about relationship communication, how the disc has helped us, how it serves us. Here we go. Bringing him back. There he is.
Oh my goodness. I don't know what happened there, but uh, I want to make sure that I give you the respect that you deserve. But what was the last thing you heard me say?
Oh, you gave me the hand clap for the,
Okay, perfect.
yeah.
That's it. That's all I had. That is all I had, my friend.
So, Coach Ant, what's next for you? What does the future hold? I know you're building your coaching. I know you are working on some other low key things coming out. What's
Yeah.
next? What do you have on your plate? And if I might ask, the BU family, the community, where do you see that going for you? What are you doing? I think what I'm seeing, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, is you are becoming
Mm,
one of those integral parts to it, becoming a leader in your own right.
mm.
I see people looking
That's
up
phenomenal.
to that.
Man, that's phenomenal. Man, I really appreciate that. Man, let me start with the BU piece. When it comes to the BU piece, this started what 2 years ago, and it's been game changing. I would say BU has been the second best decision that I've made in my life, second only to accepting Jesus Christ as my Lord and Savior. What I got from it was the 6 a.m. ministry, a family that I can turn to. Like they were there when I lost my position, when I lost my job, when I lost a family member. Like they were there supporting me during that time, and they were there encouraging me and people that I turned to for prayer during that time, right? So the BU community, they're essential, right?
Okay.
Essential. You're asking about what I'm cooking is what I'm cooking right now is first I'm working on a Q&A panel for 75 Hard. Shout out to Eli and Michaela. We're cooking something up just to add value to the community. There's going to be no charge, just information that we're putting out there as well as a Q&A panel because, man, it's so much more engaging when we're doing something like this versus reading something on a piece of paper. I'm working on the affirmations project, which is something that we're going to put into phase one, which is us testing it on ourselves. And then we're going to extend it out to people in our community. Like, let's test this out as a group and see how effective this can be. At which point, we're going to extend it out and see if this is something viable in terms of a business, another stream of income, right? And the other thing is just building this business. This business is something that's, I found my niche. I didn't really understand what I wanted to do, but I think I get it now. It's just like adding value. It's not even about the sales. It's not even about the money. Don't get me wrong. That stuff is it's important, but there's something really special when it's like people believe in the direction that you're giving them, and people understand. It's like, okay, he made it very clear, night and day, like this is the direction that I want to go. A man's gift will bring him before kings and not mere men.
Yep.
And something that I realized throughout this process is like I have stood before some kings and I've worked with some kings as a result of me operating my giftings. Right. So I want to steward this. I want to honor it. And man, I want to keep running with it because I don't know where it's gonna take me. Like I have a vision for 2025 and beyond, but man, only God knows in that respect.
No, that's beautiful, beautiful. So, Coach Ant, as we have reached our hour, I like to be respectful of everybody's time. And as we wind it down, let everyone know how they can follow you, find you, reach out to you if they are interested in your coaching, especially for those millennials who are just trying to find direction. I
Absolutely.
highly recommend Coach Ant. You can just see from if you listen to our whole podcast tonight, the energy, the flow, the value that you will receive from him. Uh,
Mm,
it's second to none. It's second to none. I mean, you
mm.
guys, me, and I grew up in one of those families where it was hard, where smiling hurt your face. We don't
I love it.
we don't
I
laugh,
love it.
we don't joke, but always have that that just that energy that you put off that is I would want to be around you if we could be around each other in person. It'd be let me go reach out. Let me jump on. Hey, can I come over and chill? That type of thing.
Hey, when you're in California, let's meet up. We'll get you some lemonade out here in this 80-degree weather, and you're free to be here whenever you come through. When
Absolutely.
everything calms down.
Hold you to
But
that. Love some
my
lemon.
handles are on Messenger. Just reaching out to Anthony Max Manalo on Facebook. You can connect with me, Anthony Max Manalo, or G4G Coaching. And man, on Instagram, Anthony Max Manalo. So it is what it is. Tyrus, I want to thank you so much. It's been an absolute blessing. And man, whenever you want that lemonade again, come find me.
Oh, absolutely. Will do. All right, family. Have a wonderful, wonderful evening out there. Again, we hope that you found the information valuable. We hope that you find the energy, the nuggets, the gems, everything that was dropped. There's a life waiting for you that's better than you can ever imagine. You just have to step into it. And like Coach Ant beautifully put it, you got to give up something. In order to change where you are, or I believe Les Brown said it, in order to become something that you have never been. You have to do things that you've never done. So you have to make a change. You have to give up something. You have to sacrifice to reach that phenomenal level, that next level in life that you're getting to. And as always, the empowerment platform is here
Mhm.
solely to empower you with information, with knowledge, with resources, with tools, whatever you need just to reach your goal and get to that next level. Happy Mother's Day again to all the mothers out there. Be blessed, and we will see you next week.